Are you a full-time filmmaker, or you just bought your camera and you're figuring on where to start? Hey guys, Kreative Kev here, bringing you the best tips and tricks on how to stay creative. And today's video is one of the things that I love most, filmmaking. And with filmmaking, lighting is key. And lighting will always make your ideas stand out. Doesn't matter if are you doing a movie, documentary, interviews, short films, lighting will always speak. And today I'm going to show you some basic techniques on how to do lighting and some do's and don'ts. And you know what? Let's go into the video. With this kind of set, we are lacking an interesting image and there is no depth in it. Yeah, lighting makes things look really beautiful and interesting. I love how my image looks right now, and for sure, you want to do this, you want to have such an image. Today I'm going to teach you on how to get an image as this with good lighting. I know I might use some high-end equipments, but they're not even high-end. They're maybe medium. Yeah, depends with what high-end looks to you as. But I'm also going to try and see if I can go out there and get some cheap lighting. With that said, let's get to work and set this all up. So in such a setup, I want first to get the subject from the background so that we can create some depth. And my room is quite limited, so I'm just going to bring him a bit ahead and then see if we can play around with the camera settings and the lighting to create some depth and make him look interesting. Juu kijana anataka kukaa vizuri bana. So the first thing is to make sure you are not recording from the wall. Always move away from the wall. Just stand. Yeah, I think that works. So now let's move the camera and see how the image looks. When it comes to the depth, the camera settings always come in handy. So like for this one, we can just bring down the aperture to around 2.8. 2.8 is good, and then bring down the ISO to 1600, maybe 1250. That looks much better. I love the image, but now we still don't have, we still have weird and strange shadows on his face. As you can see, there is some strange shadows over here, like it's not cinematic enough. So what you're going to do is try and balance all that by using at least one key light. What I always do is, if my lighting is on this side, the camera will be on this side. So I always make sure the light is 45 degrees. Other people shoot it in front of the subject. Others prefer to have two sides of the light. There is one light this side and another that side. So for this one, I'm going to use one key light, and I'm going to have it 45 degrees away from the subject. So I'll have it on this side. So I'm using the SL60W. The SL60W it's a good quality light that you can use for your videos. It goes for around in Kenya it goes for around 16 to 19,000 Kenyan shillings. In the US you can get it from that $135 to $160, depending on where you're buying it from and the state you're buying it at. So we have the SL60W. Then now the next thing is to turn on the light. You can see there is a drastic change and the image looks much better. So what you're going to do is bring the light a bit closer. To make it more softer. So the closer the light, the softer it gets. So I've brought it down to around 25%. I'm going to use it at 25%, and I can feel there's a bit of some good depth. I like the image. So the next thing we are going to do is switch off the lights. Can have somebody switch off the lights for me. So yes, look at that. This looks good. As you can see, the shadow on this side of his face, you can already tell that that image looks good. So what we're going to do is now try to play around with the settings. I was at 120. Let me just go to around 800, and then bring down the aperture a bit to 2.0. I love the image. It looks crisp, clear, and the guy looks good. So the guy looks good and the image looks good. And I'm currently shooting at 1/50. Camera settings, this is an episode I'm going to do. I'm going to come and teach you how to balance the light, the aperture, and measuring the shutter speed. I'm using 1/50 at aperture of 2 and ISO of 800. You can go as low as you can and you can go as high as you can, but now I always advise people, check the native ISO of the camera you are using. So I'm trying to, now let's try and make our image look much better. Before that, let's see the difference between the light being at the center, being at 45 degrees and being at the center. Let's move the light. You can see on his face, the shadows are now on this side of the face and this side of the face, but the whole face is already, it's well lit. So I always love shooting from a side so that I can create that jaw outline of the shadows. Let me show you what I mean. So as you can see, this side there is the jaw. The jaw is a bit dark. It's a bit dark, and since he has beards, my friend, he looks good. So now the other thing now you need to do is try and see if maybe you're in such a scenario and you need to balance the light. I always use a bounce card. A bounce card mainly helps in balancing the light on the whole face. It might not give you the best one, but it tries to at least balance the light. So as you can see, that's without the bounce card, and now with the bounce card, we are trying to add some more light on his face. Yes, the bounce card works perfectly. So you can see the shadows are going away, but now with that there is the shadows, but now the shadows are going away. So it always depends with the mode and the feel you want to bring the video out. The next thing we need to do is try and add a bit of some spicing up the background. Try to see if you can add some hair light, or maybe even make him stop being single. But that's a story for another day. Yes, as you can see, there's a bit of some light on his chin. This side of his face, there's a change now. But now I want to maybe have a different color, a different feel. Let's try and have maybe blue. Let's try and have blue. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, blue looks much better. That is for the backlight. Maybe we need it as a hair light. Then we might need to have a light on top of him, maybe this side, and have it toning down on him. Yes, maybe we can have, if you need to have a backlight, a hair light, we can have maybe a light on this side. I always maybe prefer it to be just like that. Don't try to bring more colors, just make the hair natural. We are not talking about a musician here. not mentioning names, but yes, make it natural. So for now, we are going to leave it at blue. So yes, I love how my image looks. I love how what I'm seeing here, the depth looks much better. Like if when I do side-to-side comparison from the first image to what I have here, this looks much better, and this looks like a video I can just do. I can just listen to or even watch. If we can even have him talk about something that he don't know, maybe you can try and see. Yes, go ahead, talk about something. Talk about nothing.
Here is nothing. Nothing is something that does not exist.
So as you can see, like the image looks so beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you guys for sticking up to this point. It's been awesome being with you here, teaching you on how to do lighting. And I'm looking forward to doing more of these tutorials. And if you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Hit subscribe and ring that bell, Bana. Ring that bell. And with that said, see you on the next one.